Showtime? All right, everybody. We were just waiting for you.
I'm here.
All right. Yep. Okay. Hey, I'm Joe Solari. This is the direct sales panel. Prepare to get your mind blown. We've got two guests. I've got Katie Cross, and he's Pierre to you, but he's Alex to me. And we're going to talk about direct sales. Now, when I set this panel up, Craig asked me to set this up. Whoa, it's not me. I had several people I was going to put on the panel, and when I realized how successful these two people were at direct sales, I wanted to make sure we had maximum time, and they gave us maximum effort to answer these questions. How we're going to do this, I've got several questions that came in through that survey I did online through the group. So we're going to hit those because they're probably going to answer a lot of the stuff you're going to want to ask anyhow. And then when we get to the group Q&A here, we need you to go to that back microphone and answer the question there so the people out in the ether can hear you. All right? Great. So that's it for me. I'm going to hand it up to Katie, and she's going to tell us a little bit about who she is and what she does, and then we'll go from there.
Hey, everybody. So excited about this. Hello. Much better. Hi, everyone. I'm Katie Cross. This is the most exciting panel. I'm so excited to talk about direct sales. I'm a young adult fantasy author, just for fun. I write some contemporary romance on the side. It's not really on the side. I like dabbling in both genres. I've been doing direct sales for 2 years now, which just means I sell my books from my website in paper, ebook, and audio. We'll go into the details there. I'm a mom of 2 kids under the age of 6, and I live in the mountains.
Guess I'm up next. My name is Pierre Ginty, and brace yourself, I write poetry. Yes, a lot of people are like, oh, you sell poetry. So I've been doing the direct sale model for about 2 years as well. We have a warehouse. We're literally, the whole focus of this is pulling everything to our website, even Amazon sales. So I have, I'm a father of 3 kids, and I live in Florida. That's it. Woo!
Where in Florida, she asked?
Oh, we're in Florida, I'm sorry. Southwest Florida, I usually say Fort Myers because it's a small town. You will not know it. You can't even find it on the map. So Fort Myers area.
So the first thing that from the questions we got, and you each take the shot with this and explain your system, is really like the basics, like what kind of software do you use, the kind of the technology stack to be able to sell the product as well as engage with your audience. You want to get started?
So I'm a big advocate, for Shopify, because Shopify is one of the easiest tools when it comes to doing a direct sale model. Now I have WooCommerce. I've had WooCommerce. I started with WooCommerce, and I've tried different websites, but it's just Shopify. Shopify is like, to me, the iPhone, because anything you need, you could download an app. Almost anything, you could download an app, and Shopify operates exactly, just like that. Everything you need because I talk big about upsell and you selling multiple products, because I do not only sell books. I sell books, merchandise, even memberships. So Shopify allowed me to do that, with ease. Beside that, we use Facebook ads to get them to Shopify, and then from Shopify we use Klaviyo, which is an email software that we use to deliver. It works. It's one of the top email softwares for Shopify. So it allows us to segment people based on their purchase and just really have a easy, system for you to communicate all of this with the customer.
Yeah, we're a good mix for this panel because he has more of a paperback physical focus, where I have more of an e-commerce focus. So a lot of my books are more online books. So I use ActiveCampaign as an email service provider. They're the ones that deliver the links to download the ebooks and audiobooks. And BookFunnel and Shopify also. I've only ever used Shopify, and I love it. It's $29 a month, so it's a really really inexpensive option if you guys want to get started. And the apps are so easy, and they even have print-on-demand apps through Lulu Express to do paperback, so it's the exact same kind of model as Amazon.
So the next thing is, what do you do around paperback, hardcover sales? Where do you get your stock printed? Where do you store it? How do you fulfill those kind of orders?
So I do have some ebook sales, but most of my sales are paperback. And from when I started, it's been a transition in terms of getting them printed. So we started with local printers, because over the years I've built relationship with local printers. And from there, in terms of volume, we went over to Ingram Spark. And they can get, up to 10,000 books per order, and even possibly more. But Ingram, I've been one of the top sellers for a while, so I've been able to communicate like the issue we're having with getting enough books. Because the one thing I have to say is that I have a warehouse, so it's different. I can order a pallet of 10,000 books and have it sit there. We didn't always start that way. I had a storage unit in the beginning, but so I had a storage unit and then moved over to that. But we use Ingram Spark. And then when it comes to, what was the other part?
Fulfillment, so how you deal with where you store it, and how do you handle fulfillment inside and outside of the U.S.?
Okay, so fulfillment is, for me, is a bit simpler because we have the team. We have a warehouse. Soon they order on Shopify. And even now, if they order certain books from Amazon, it goes straight within our Shopify as well, where Amazon doesn't fulfill it and we fulfill it, because I'm big on collecting data. I want to know who the customer is, what did the customer do on the website, what did they purchase, and what they left behind, and so forth. So we have a team in place, so every morning someone clock in and they fulfill the orders. In terms of shipments, I've tried to, since I'm the one, directing the marketing, I try to stay within the U.S., and this is where we get into the lane of ebooks when we start going outside. The U.S. and Canada, we have no problem with them because it's easy, it's cheaper. Now, once you get, to different countries, it's expensive, and this is where I turn over to ebooks, so I could keep everything working, with ease. Again, there's always going to be what my comments about this. But the last thing to say about it is that even on the international level, there are different ways that you can do this outside of. I mean, we've done it. We've shipped a lot of books, just different countries. But the customer service, what we try to do is limit how many people we have to deal with, because that's another layer that I don't know if you experienced, but we have people, once you're doing the fulfillment yourself, you're going to have that. So once we're doing international, there was a lot of customer service issues that we decided to cut that out and then just keep polishing the U.S. side, the domestic side, and then go into that later on as we polish out our system.
So I mostly, for print, use the Lulu Express app. So it's an app that you put in Shopify. You just upload your ebook files, like cover, interior, just like you would on Ingram Spark or KDP, and then you can list it on the website. It probably takes 4 to 5 minutes to create a new paperback in my Shopify store. It's super easy. And I never see anything else. So what happens is someone will come order a paperback, and it charges my credit card, like Lulu Express charges my credit card the cost of printing, but then I'm collecting the money from the reader. So it'll look like I have all of these charges on my credit card, but it's just Lulu collecting the money that they'll need for that, but then I'm making more money from the reader. So it's just kind of a swap across. And then they print, they ship, they fulfill. I get an email every time they ship one of the orders, just so I know like when they're going out. It's nice and versatile because sometimes I'll have people say, oh, I bought this book from you. I thought it was a paperback, and I don't read ebooks. So I'll say, no problem, and I can just push a paperback through instead of giving a refund. Instead of having to refund the money and lose it, I just say, here, I'll just push a paperback through, and I only pay like cost. For outside the US, I can ship, Lulu can ship outside the US, it just increases the shipping rate. So I just have a box that's ticked that says to not allow free shipping on international orders. Because sometimes for an incentive, I'll say, oh, you can get free shipping, and you can kind of tick this box and do the free shipping. For ebook and audiobook delivery, Damon at BookFunnel is my bestie. So BookFunnel can integrate with Shopify, and Damon has created it's called I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically a trigger. So whenever a what?
Yeah, it's a webhook.
Yeah, it's a webhook, yeah. But it's on BookFunnel. It's called something else, like on the left-hand side of the page. Anyway, so you can set up through your SKUs, the SKU on Shopify. Every book is assigned a SKU. You just tell BookFunnel the SKU and say, anytime this is purchased, send this link to the email. So then every time someone purchases one of my books, BookFunnel sends them a link and says, hey, here's the link to download this audiobook or to download this ebook. So I don't have to do anything. It's all automated. It's all really great. BookFunnel integrates with ActiveCampaign, who I use for my email, and ActiveCampaign and Klaviyo integrate deeply with Shopify. They both have a deep integration, which means that data is shared between Shopify and either of those websites. I love ActiveCampaign. I've used them for years. If I didn't use ActiveCampaign, I would use Klaviyo. So there's a lot of other authors in the direct sales that are doing Klaviyo, and they really like it because of that deep integration. So even though BookFunnel will trigger to deliver the link when someone buys the ebook or audio, I still have ActiveCampaign send out the email also, so that we get actual fulfillment happen. Because one of the biggest issues is email servers might not deliver emails. So my problems with maybe like fulfillment and delivery come on like the virtual side, but BookFunnel has really helped in their automatic triggers and all of it. It happens really smoothly and without me touching anything. I just set up automations in ActiveCampaign and it runs by itself.
So we kind of jumped over this, but to give everyone a context for your businesses, if you could talk, and you may want to keep this general, but kind of at least share what percentage of your total sales as a percentage is direct sales versus what you're selling on other platforms like Amazon or Apple. And then if you do want to share kind of monetary amounts that you're doing direct to help people understand that, that would be great too. Everyone likes to know that.
So I would say in general, 70% of my revenue is direct sales because all of my marketing is direct sales. I don't really emphasize the retailers. Every now and then I'll throw something for free or 99 cents on the retailers and I might drive traffic to it, but I don't really want to give Amazon my money because I make 94% royalty on what is sold in my store for ebook and audio. I would say, so last year with the COVID craze, when COVID started hitting in April and like people dropped out of advertising because no one was going to work or whatever, I couldn't throw money at Facebook fast enough. So we did $500,000 in total revenue with direct sales in 2020. 2021 will be closer to 200,000. Which is a really significant decrease, but a much more realistic picture of growth. So the next year after that will probably, hopefully, be closer to 300,000 or 400,000 as we kind of have a steadier climb instead of explosive growth because of worldwide pandemic. I'm like, now we need a meteor or.
About, I would say more 85 to 90% of our sales are direct. And even now it's getting tighter and tighter because my goal, if I could do a quick minute about the backstory of why I started direct sales.
Sure.
So I've been a full-time author since 2014, and it's always been poetry and just my main focus was selling on Amazon, chasing the rankings, and so forth. I got to a point where Target contacted our distributor and wanted to have my book in stores. And the deal worked out perfect. They ordered over 60,000 books, but what ended up happening is that there was an issue with the distributor where they could not meet the demand for Target, and I also did not have the credit line to meet such a high demand, where what ended up happening is that the books were returned. And if you're ever in the book industry, the return costs more than the actual order. So I'm stuck with like 15,000 books, and I'm like, I got to figure this out. So this is where initially I told the distributor, like, just send me my books back, I'll figure it out. And that's when I started, going with Shopify. Now, the reason I say this is because my focus with this model has always been to get away from everyone else and have full control. Because when that happens, not only was I risking the customer data when they're ordered on Amazon, because they're Amazon or Target's customer, not my customer. So I wanted to have, and then during that time, I went to, I had a book tour for my latest book during that time. And we had a hard time getting people to show up simply because we didn't have any customer data. And also Instagram and Facebook, although I think on Facebook now I have 1.9 million followers, and Instagram, it's pretty high. But we could not have direct access because the algorithm keeps changing. So more and more, you're seeing less of your customers. So this model made complete sense, and for us, it's even now when you're ordering on Amazon, we're trying to get it over to our warehouse, so then we could find a way to put you within the system and collect the data, because it gives me that longevity, and I don't become less dependent on anyone else. Now, 2020 was an amazing year for us. We did $4 million in gross sales. It came to where, and the great thing about this is that so May was our best month, and even though we fulfilled close to 40,000 books, 38,000 books in our warehouse, I still hit USA Today bestseller list and sold crazy amount of books everywhere else, kind of like a residue. So what it has done for us is amplified our system to where we're still selling everywhere else, but it's the only 20% of the business, and now we have so much more control and so forth. So,
cool. So we're pretty soon, if you want to ask questions, we're going to need you to kind of go to the back mic so that the folks in the interwebs can hear us. You can start to do that. The next question for us, while people are collecting their thoughts and thinking about a question, there's kind of two questions here. One is, how are you driving customers to your website? How do you build trust with them so that they purchase from you? And then the golden question is, how do you get significant traffic for direct sales without using Facebook ads or retargeting?
Let me just auditory build my funnel for you. So I have paid advertising, Facebook, Pinterest, whatever, that goes to a landing page. If you guys want to look at it, just to test it out yourself, go to welcome.kcrosswriting.com. It's KCROSSWRITING.com/welcome. That takes you to a landing page that says, hey, get my first book for free. You put your email address in. And as soon as anyone puts their email address in, it goes to a thank you page. The thank you page has an upsell for probably $19.99, where I say, hey, thanks so much, but you can actually get this killer deal and just get all 5 books for $20. And that's where the money to pay the advertising comes in. But now I've got their email, and then I know who's actually buying from me right away. On that page and the page before and the ad, I have worked a lot with my creative to build trust in the process. So I try to anticipate questions on my landing pages. I test images, copy, headlines for the ads, and I only use the copy and creative that people are responding to before I actually send the ad out there. And then I have that goes to my Shopify store, and the process is as easy and painless as possible. Every step of the process will build trust, right? As long as it's working smoothly and you're honest and it's easy. So as soon as they hit the thank you page, if they buy, they go right to my Shopify store, they buy, they get an email. with their set delivered, and then they're pushed into an email list that I have, and like 3 days later I'll send a follow-up email. I have a welcome sequence that over the last 2 years I've A/B tested to maybe S. Like I'll have like email R. My landing page is on DM. I think I've gone all the way through the alphabet to D. And I think I have DM and DP that are currently active right now. So I just A/B test the crap out of everything. And then I speak to my readers through my email list, whether I'm not always trying to sell, right? Like some of my readers love updates about my life. Some readers love free short stories. Some readers love sales. I find what's working and I do more of what's working and I give them the content they want. And then I ask them, what do you want? And I also give them opportunities to leave. So in my welcome sequence, I work hard to just make my voice in my email sound like me, to be authentic, to be giving, to state my purpose. And then like 2 or 3 emails in, I just say, hey, if you don't want to be here, I get it. Like, feel free to unsubscribe. Or if you want my books, but you don't want to hear from me every week, just click this button and it automatically puts them into a new release only list so that they're getting emails when I launch a new book, but then they're not like annoyed and not opening my weekly emails, so my email rates stay high. So that's kind of the process of how I do it. It is mainly driven through paid advertising. I do podcast appearances or book clubs, and I will give out that link and say, hey, if your listeners want a free book, just go to welcome.kcrosswriting.com/welcome, and then I'll see the traffic coming through. So if I do a podcast and all of a sudden I have a boost of traffic that doesn't correlate with my Facebook ads data, then I can say, oh, people are finding through that. Like there will probably be a boost in traffic after this, like people are visiting. So it doesn't have to have paid traffic, but the process is surely like sped up that way. And then I drive a lot of traffic outside of paid advertising just through engagement with my readers and fans. So at the beating heart of my career is a desire to help people find their courage again through fiction, right? I write fantasy. So I want to create places for people to go when they're tired at the end of the day, when I get emails all the time from readers. One lady's like, my son's in the hospital, might not make it. My husband just died in my arms. I was just diagnosed with cancer. I mean, these horrible stories of people in pain. And I always say, why don't you just go to this place for a while and just like find your courage through my main character again. And I make that clear to my readers from the beginning, that to build that trust so that they know I've got their back. I will always be here with more stories, and that helps them really stay.
Now, in terms, similar, most of our traffic is through paid advertisement, and I go harder than I should. I push Facebook so hard but ultimately the goal is to build the audience internally, where in the email, as she explained it perfectly, was that we have the email sequences. First, the thank you, then we have them. The way we pay for our paid advertising is that I pretty much call them, our shop is our own Amazon. So the way it's set up, it's not like you come and you spend $14 on my book and then you pay shipping and leave. No, it's you spend $14, then we're going to give you an upsell, maybe volume 2, or maybe a book that complements it. Then before you leave, we do a cross sell, which is a product, whether it's a T-shirt or a pen, something that complement the book that you are purchasing. Then also we find out that once people make a purchase is the best time to sell to them again. So we have what you call a post-purchase sale. So on average, the person, when they leave our website, on average, our AOV is $29. They fluctuate like high 29s, but the lifetime value of the customer is $89 because they go to buy more. Because once we get them in through our shop, we focus internally of saying, okay, you have this book, so you're never getting any emails about this, but you're getting emails about these. Now, the emails are not just spammy. It's that genuine interaction with them. We know that because my assistant, is right there. She realized that because I was busy, we tried hiring email marketers, and right off the bat, when they send the email, everyone just like, this is not it. This is not your voice. And we went through so many people trying to try to make that happen to a point where I'm like, I have to specifically sit down and write emails. And it has to be my voice, whether it's poem. And the thing about emails with connecting with your audience is that, even if they don't want to know about yourself, for me, I write poetry. It's like I just keep feeding them more poems, and I keep just, having that conversation with them. Emails have to be about conversation, all about caring for them. So that's what I've been able to do in terms of system, and then advertising outside the paid advertising is exactly what we've in email, and also we have a text community. That's what I was trying to get my mind around. So email having a lower open rate as a decrease over the years. What I realize is that now it's text marketing is a new thing. However, it's not corrupted or by marketers yet. It's still fresh. As marketers, we destroy everything. I'm a marketer, but we destroy everything. So now you're only getting people to save a lifetime warranty on your car through tech. So I come in here and we have a text community where we do wallpapers, and I send them quotes, and I just send them updates, and they're highly engaged there. And that's another way where whenever I have sales, it's like in a blink of an eye, books, they'll go and purchase because they're literally the quickest buyers we have. So that's another way we advertise, but it's all about community.
Awesome.
Can I add something to that?
Sure.
From more of an e-commerce perspective, the AOV of my readers, which is average order value, so the higher the AOV, the better, because that means they're spending more money. We also have upsells like he does. You have the post-purchase, you have in-purchase. Amazon does it too, like, oh, you want this? Well, lots of people also bought this. So you can create your own also bots, which I have, or frequently bought together, and then I'll have the whole series, and all of a sudden people's AOV goes from $5 to $25. So just for perspective, the AOV for most of my orders is somewhere between $14 and $19 in general, but the LTV, which is a lifetime value, the amount that they spend over the course of their life with you, is probably closer to 50 or 60. So you can kind of expect those numbers in general.
Just to add, just one quick.
That's why it's a
just
panel.
To add, I like that. Notice with her, she also has the entire upsell funnel and the whole sequence, because kind of once you start doing a direct sell model, obviously you're going to look at the expense of having the inventory, or maybe not the inventory, of all the tools that you, or programs you have to use.
It's more operating expenses, like internet subscriptions, instead of you have to pay like packaging and
Yes.
people and
Correct. And the way, you have to take care of that, where so you're not coming out of a pocket or you're in the negative, is simply providing more to the customers. Because even for me, when it comes to the merchandising, we don't create them. I mean, there's a print on demand. This is where I use print on demand. Why I use a company named Gooten. There's Gooten or Printify, where you could upload your designs, and it integrates with Shopify, which is the great thing about Shopify. It just integrates with so many things. And someone ordered the T-shirts, and it sends it to them. And all I do is, out of the profit, it collects the expenses for it, and it ship and do everything for it. Everything is pre-calculated and just flows. So that's going to be important in a direct sell model, because you want to make sure, for you to keep this going, you have to put things in place to be profitable. Because it can be a little expensive.
very expensive. You're playing more with money.
Yeah. Let's open it up to the mic there.
Hi. Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh. AB.
Okay. Okay. I'll take this off. Sorry. So I sell picture books, and I've been really trying to focus on direct sales instead of sending my customers to Amazon. I use a lot of Facebook ads, I have half of my traffic going to my website, half going to Amazon, but my conversion on my website is really bad, and I'm trying to figure out, is there something different that I should do with my copy or my, the creative on Facebook, or maybe it's like in terms of the funnel, I'm collecting emails instead of trying to turn them into customers. Like, what can I do to change the experience for direct sales?
So without seeing your funnel, it's hard to say what to fix, but my first thought that popped in is, what is your conversion objective on Facebook? Are you doing purchase or traffic?
I have both.
So traffic is
started off with
almost a
just
complete
traffic.
waste of money if you want sales. I've tested this to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. Sending Facebook traffic to Amazon has always failed for me. It's never ever been profitable, and I rarely actually see paid Facebook advertising make any dent in my Amazon sales. You're sending them to a page with like 30 other products, right? So I even did Facebook ads with an Amazon affiliate link so I could sort of see the data, because once you send to Amazon, you're blind. You have no idea what you're doing, right? So I used affiliate links to just kind of see what's happening. Nothing. And no matter how much more money I threw at Facebook, my sales didn't budge. The same on my website. I can send traffic ads from my email list. Like, I can upload all 100,000 whoever I have, send traffic ads, and I still don't see them buying. So I have just completely stopped supporting Facebook traffic ads, and then you want to invest in the conversion objective. So with your direct sales, you should be able to have the Facebook integration, if you don't already have that, so that you can drive that a little bit better. That would be my first thing, is your audience, and then your audience targeting on Facebook. You probably aren't sending the right people to your page, and if you're just sending it to the sales page, I would stop doing that. You want a landing page that erases questions and creates trust and drives to the sale instead.
Perfect.
When it comes to the quality of the design on your page, most people focus more on making it extremely pretty, and really it has to just be user-friendly. Now, you need decent graphics, but we spent a good chunk of money getting designers to redesign our website, and it comes back to where we just have a simple website and wasted a bunch of money, because we realize a user, as long you have the right description and you describe the pain point and you make it easy for them to make the purchase, and you add that trust, which we have the credit card symbols and everything else, then you're good. Because most people purchase from Amazon because they trust Amazon, and Amazon's popular. You have to build trust with them, and that's where, once it's too much going on, they're not going to convert. And the other thing about ads is that, as someone who's been doing Facebook ads since, like, in the beginning, I've been running ads since 2014, and I could see how the system has changed over time. Literally, when you go to create Facebook ads, every objective has a purpose. So as she mentioned, link clicks. They're not looking for people who are going to buy. It's looking for people who's clicking. And they're not, the people who are making purchase are within the conversion pool. Because Facebook select them. It's like how we have different rooms here. Facebook put each audience into an objective and say, this is the focus. And that's where with ads, you will never get quality people coming onto your website unless you have a pixel connected and you're feeding your website the proper data, and Facebook's like, oh, they're looking for people who will have this buyer's behavior. So once we find them, now you go into lookalikes, where it's like you could start feeding enough data on the back end and saying, okay, we could find more people like this. And that's where you see better conversion rates. Now, in the beginning, it may be expensive because it needs 100 customers to get to where it's more, the lookalike can be more effective. But as long as you start, and then having like the process of elimination of taking, like, hey, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, and so forth. But that's what I would say.
One quick thing, then we'll let it go. There's a subscription called Mouse Flow, MOUSCFLOW, that you can put on your landing page, and as Big Brother creepy as this sounds, you can actually see what people are doing on your page. and it will show you a heat map of where people are leaving, where people are clicking, where their mouse is going, how long they spent on a section of your page. So you can throw that on your landing page and say, they aren't even making it past the fold. Like, no wonder they're not converting, which probably means there's something wrong on your page. That's a lifesaver when you get started.
I had a question for you. Who's your audience?
Parents and grandparents of babies and toddlers.
Okay. And does the pages that they land on, do they speak to that, or is it just like, hey, buy my book?
Buy my book.
Yeah. I think that, especially when you're looking at like those kind of products where the purchaser, the problem that you're solving for them might be different, right? And you start to think about how you would convince grandma to buy one of those books. What is it that they're trying to do? Like, what's the unmet demand? What's the emotion you're trying to evoke? That's a completely different story you're telling about when they buy this book and little Timmy opens it up and reads it and you see the sparkle in his eye. That's what you'd be selling, not, it's a great picture book. This is my thought.
Thank you so much.
Hello. So my question is, for the people you're sending to your website and that they're buying the book on your website, is there anything that you do to like incentivize them to buy it from your website than from them like going on Amazon? Because like Amazon price matches stuff, right? So like, how do you incentivize them?
The fun part.
There's the golden question. I don't advertise to anywhere but my site. So for some people, they may not know it's even available anywhere else. I don't talk about Amazon. I don't talk about Nook. I don't talk about iBooks. I am there, but my books are almost $10 for an ebook there because I don't actually care if I get sales on Amazon. I don't ever look at my author ranking. If I have reviews, great. I don't really care. You can put reviews on my website through the Judge Me app. So I have completely just turned my mind off to worrying about the retailers, and then I just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Also, it's a hard question when they first land, right? Like, how am I going to get you to stay on my website and buy? A lot of people don't. Maybe 10% of people buy right away, right? But the other 90 go into my email list. And the first email that you're going to get from me if you go to my website and sign up and don't buy is, hey, I fired the richest man in the world. That's the subject title. And then I say, Jeff Bezos is worth this much. And this is, guess what? Amazon started as a bookstore, and this is what they're doing now, and this is how they stiff authors. I don't really focus on that, but I say, but readers don't have a great experience because they're probably telling you what to read, and there's a lot more out there they're not showing you. But I'm doing this on my own now because I care about you, and I tell them why I'm doing this, and people are always emailing me like in a fury. Like, how dare they? Yeah. I'm like, no witch hunt for Jeff, guys, okay? He's not that bad personally, I'm sure. But anyway, so that trust, that answer actually comes later because then I track the sales that come with that email. So then I get sales on that email because I say, I know you didn't want that one offer, but here it is. Here's something else again for maybe $1 more. So that's one way.
I fight Amazon. So I have a whole different angle. So my book, Her, which is very popular, and the issue we're having after 2020 is that Amazon and Walmart just keep fighting on who's going to make it the lowest price ever. And and that makes it hard. It's $14.99 on my website, and here they are selling it $6, $7, $8. Well, the one person who controls this is me. And so what I've done is, over time, we pulled the books from Amazon and Ingram, bold move, and we started increasing the price of the book. So what's happening, the reason the readers sometimes are converting on Amazon is they're like, wait, it's cheaper there, so I'm not gonna buy it from you. So by me changing my price to having the books $29.99, they start to think. However, Amazon still give them a discount, but now Amazon pays me the cost of the book. My royalty is literally like $15 per book. So then they compensate for that. Now, it's a bold move. However, I'm also, that's kind of the story I mentioned in the beginning, that I'm really focusing on being the sole owner of the data and so forth. And now we even changed Shopify integrate also with Amazon Seller Central to where even though you're losing those people to Amazon, when they go to Amazon, they make a purchase, it could come to the back end of your Shopify. But I like fighting them.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Cohen.
Brian Cohen, best page forward. Whoa, how close do I have to get to this thing?
It has to be in your mouth. There we go.
There's a lot of people in here who've never sold direct, and I wanted to know when both of you thought this might actually work, because it's very much against the grain. When did you think this was going to work for you?
I had no choice, really, because I had a newborn coming in. There was a bunch of books that were just sitting there, and I'm like, I have to figure it out. But once you start running ads, and for me, once I started running the ads and I started to see the sales coming in, I'm like, oh, this is gonna work. Now, because I'm big on testing, now is how can we get it to cheaper? So it was like, if Facebook can literally find me the customer, why not? And that's where I became bolder and bolder and bolder to where it was just like, we just keep spending. And fortunately, too, just to help you understand this, a lot of the companies started giving me credit lines, between Facebook giving me credit lines, Uline, which is where we get our shipping, and we started utilizing those things where we could keep doing it and it eased the process. So now it's easier to believe that it's gonna work and still gonna keep working as long as you have the resources, because the resources is a big part of it. So, but Facebook conversion really turned it around for me.
For me, it took me about 2 months to set up, test, recreate, have other people go through and make sure it was where I wanted. Then I started the basic Facebook ad runs. So I got all my books on Shopify. I have like 30 to 40 some odd books, almost 100 products. Once I kind of got it all set up, tested it, started doing my Facebook ad testing, and then launched into Facebook ads, it was still another like 2 to 3 months before I saw what I was capable of in terms of, oh, like now I've tweaked my landing pages, my email, I've A/B tested the crap out of my entire life, and now I can see, I'm making ends meet between I'm making enough from the direct sales and I'm paying the ads and my operating expenses, and then like the growth started coming in, but not exponentially at first. Well, and then like COVID hit like a month later, and I was like, holy crap. So for me, it was a gradual process into it, and I had to be very patient, and I had to control the mindset that said, this is going to fail. Look at that. Nope, still not working. I had that all the time. I had to control that, just believe in the process, and I think it's pretty common within about 6 months when I see authors go through the direct sales system, like the way I have it, takes about 6 months to really start seeing that profit start to rise with a steady increase.
Anybody else? We're coming to the last few minutes, so ask now or forever hold your peace.
So this is directed to Katie. I can't remember what genres you said you wrote in, but I write in sweet romance, and I know there are a lot of whale romance readers who love KU. Have you seen any? Do you have any opinion about genre?
Yeah, definitely.
And direct sales?
So I write in like clean romance and fantasy. So fantasy is my bread and butter. I do have romance titles. It's a beast. Direct sales with romance is hard. It's not impossible. There is a mindset with romance authors that says, oh, it'll never work outside KU. And I love when people say never, because then I say, well, let's try, right? I have a friend, her name's Naomi Rawlings. She writes clean Christian romance. She's doing, I don't know how much a month, 30 to 40 a month on direct sales. And her price points are like $20 to $30 a bundle, right? So, I mean, most people think romance authors are gonna have to have 30 books in that bundle for like the readers, but it's not true. It's a mindset that authors have perpetuated, and you can find the readers. It really does take a little bit longer, though. Yeah.
Was there something you wanted to add at the end, or?
Oh, just a question.
Okay. Go.
Have either of you done, man, that really is. Have either of you done signed books or limited editions or anything like that? Or is it just kind of the standard, what you could get elsewhere you can get here?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Have you done signed books? Or like
Signed books or limited edition or.
Oh.
I do have signed books on the website. We have it kind of as a drop down to where, well, no, we have an entire section for it that people can buy it for more. And in our warehouse, we have a section where we simply do that. But yes, people will spend money. You can literally do everything you want because you have total control. And yes, to make it short, that's the time.
No. For me, no, because I have 2 kids under 6 and I don't want to deal with fulfillment. But I do have rock star readers that ask, like, hey, can I have like signed books or whatever? And I'll say, yeah, order it from my store. I have a P.O. box or something, and then I'll sign it and send it back in the packaging it came in. But that's for like team members or people that actually reach out and ask.
Hi. How many titles would you recommend having before you started trying direct sales?
Great question. If you're modeling after me, I would not do it before you have 5. Because you want 1 to give away free, and you want at least 4 in the upsell, and then you want a sale after, like a book to sell after. Best done after 10. And long series typically are a little bit easier to market, but if you have multiple series, that's good too.
All right.
Can I just add it?
Yeah, because we got to wrap up. So
Yeah,
you said
real
something.
quick, a thought about direct sales. So here at 20Books 50K, you're going to see a lot of business models. There's the all-in romance KU. There's the like go wide and throw Facebook traffic at it. There's the direct sales. I mean, there's going to be a lot of business models. Direct sales is right for the people that want to control the data, basically. They want the feedback. They want the readers. And they're willing to be an entrepreneur and make riskier decisions, right? When you're throwing $4,000 a day at Facebook ads, it kind of makes it hard to breathe, right? And you're opening credit cards and all this stuff. If that is something that maybe excites you, or you think, how can I do what they're not doing? How can I pivot? I need a new sale. Like, how can I do my audiobooks better? How can this happen? If you're someone that wants to innovate, you want to be in control of your company, and you want to pivot fast, you want to put a sale up for 2 hours or something, then I think direct sales is right for you. If the thought of all of this is overwhelming and terrifying, and you'd really just want to focus on writing 40 books a year and putting them in KU, direct sales is not for you. So just be aware that there is a specific type of people that are drawn to this. I'd wager probably a good chunk of you are here because you are independent. And my 3 business values, I don't know if you guys have values for your business, but I have 3 values. And it's freedom, independence, and connection with my readers. Every stinking decision I make serves all 3 values, and direct sales has done that for me across the board. So if that speaks to you, I think direct sales could potentially be a good fit. It's just something to keep in mind.
It's